Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you guys? Are you fine? I'm Jan Ahmed Abdul Sadiq, and today we are going to talk about renewable energy. Actually, we will discuss about what is renewable energy and how it is working, with also some examples about it. Now, let us start. First thing about renewable energy. We know as the first thing that renewable energy, it means the natural things in our life, or the renewable energy that it can be benefit for the others. It can benefit for the humans without harming them. Now, let us talking about renewable energy and flying about or to understand the meaning. Now let us flying to the meaning. First thing, we know that renewable energy comes from sources or processes that are constantly replenished. And actually, these sources of energy include solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, and hydroelectric power. Now, I will show you a simple picture for this solar energy. First thing, let us start about renewable energy. Actually, before we start, we know that energy, it is obtained into renewable and non-renewable energy. But today we are going to talk about renewable energy. Now, if you can see that renewable energy, it can be the natural things in our life, like for example, the sun, the wind, the water, and the earth. These all are examples of the natural things in our life. Now, if you can see that here's some examples about the wind energy, solar energy, and the hydroelectric power energy. That means also an example of Ethiopia hydroelectric power plant. Now, we are talking about economic energy, or the another thing, it's wind energy, that it will be our topic. But let us continue about the advantages of renewable energy. Now, we know that renewable energy, it is environmentally friendly, that it will not harm the person. It will not harm the society, and it also is limitless. So that means we can use it again and again without reduce it. And another thing, that it is safer for the person, safer for the society without harming. But that means they also have a disadvantage things. Now let us talk about the disadvantages. We know that disadvantage, it can be like, for example, vary by location. We know that natural things, it can be vary from place to place. Okay, and another thing also, that it is randomly obtained. Natural things are obtained randomly in every area. We know that randomly, it's not with us. Natural things is a natural things in our life. So for that, we want to make a sustainable development in our earth, in our life. Renewable energy, that means a good life. Like for example, also wind energy, solar energy, and so many sources of energy can help us and let us to get a power. Now, let us continue about our topic, which is wind energy. First thing, energy from moving air. How does energy comes from the air or from the moving air? It's by the wind. Because energy from moving air, wind, is caused by uneven heating of the Earth's surface by the sun. Because the Earth's surface is made up of different types of land and water. It absorbs the sun's heat at different rates. But by which device? Actually, it's by the wind turbine. And this wind turbine, it's a device that converts the wind's kinetic energy into molecule or electrical energy. Now, let us continue about more information with wind energy or the wind power. Now, let us continue about the wind energy. We know that wind energy is the most widespread renewable energy, that it can be 2% like of the earth, 2% of electricity production. And another percent is about the nuclear power plants, the power stations. And do you know that this wind power or wind farm, it's able to produce 123 million kilowatt hour. So that means because of this electricity, it can make for 3,800 households for electricity. And this also wind turbines can avoid the carbon dioxide. They are avoiding 1,200 or 120,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year. And this wind turbine, it is 80 meters. Its height is 80 meters. Do you see that the person is very small for this wind? Now, you can see that it's also more expensive and it is maximum performance because of the computer system, because it's working by this thing. So that means they are using a generator, which means the generator are coming from the wind power. And this wind power, if there is, so that means they are sustainable environment because of the wind energy. Now, continue about what means exactly about wind power. Now we know that wind power, it's energy obtained from wind. Okay, so for that its name is wind power, and it is one of the oldest energy sources exploited by humans, and today is the most established and efficient renewable energy source. Okay, today we are most like using this wind power. As we said before, that wind power is the most the most widespread energy in the earth, and also it's more expensive, and we will see these things but not now. Now let us talk about the wind power also by a simple examples and a simple ways. If you can see also here that there's different types of wind turbines, or as you said, ecolic wind or eco-wind power. If you can see here, there's so many difference in different areas. They are using wind turbine or wind energy to take the wind or the air to produce what? To produce electricity. But it also is one example of renewable energy, as we said before, because we are using this power again and again, and there is no emissions in this thing. But if there's so many wind power, there will be so many houses that using electricity because of this thing. But can you imagine if this wind power stop? So that means there is no be electricity, and this wind power or wind energy, it's the most expensive energy or like sources form, or like it's different from the other sources because it's the most widespread and also the most expensive. Now let us continue about the benefits of wind power. First thing, or the first point, that wind energy is a source of renewable energy, as we know, but it does not contaminate. It is inexhaustible and reduces the use of fossil fuels, which are the origin of greenhouses, of the greenhouse gases that cause global warming, that are causing us. The greenhouse gases now are causing because of the carbon dioxide, and we know that wind energy or wind turbine can avoid the carbon dioxide. Okay? Now let us continue about the second point. Producing electricity. Wind power can produce electricity through by what? Through by wind energy, and its efficient use contributes to sustainable development. Wind energy does not emit toxic substances or contaminants. Wind energy does not generate waste or contaminate water. There's also some examples like wind energy. It can be also in water and on the ground, the both of them. And also there is a wind that it's named wind farm. Now the second thing, it's about wind power is the most efficient technology to produce energy in a safe and environmentally sustainable manner. It is zero emissions, local, and it's inexhaustible, competitive, and it creates wealth and jobs. Now let's see if there's a large number of turbines are needed to generate a significant amount of power. This thing actually, it can be in the both. It can be a positive and a negative for wind energy. But if you can see here that I bring an examples about wind energy and how they are working by the wind. When there's wind, they will give an electricity for the house. Now let us continue about the disadvantage or the negatives of wind energy. Actually, wind energy can be unpredictable as the amount of electricity generated is dependent on the speed and the direction of the wind. So that means wind power or the wind turbine, it's depending on the speed. And if this wind have more speed, it can let the wind power or the wind turbine broke and fall down. And if it is fall down, it will harm the others. It will harm the, like for example, if it is a wind farm, it will harm the animals. It will harm the farm itself. So for that also it has a big negatives if we didn't make a care for it. And also it's depending on the direction of the wind. So also it's have a disadvantage. Okay, now let us see about the another point for disadvantages of wind energy or the negatives. Now we can say that wind turbines can affect the visual appearance of the landscape, but another thing also, another point, does wind turbine or the wind energy can affect the birds? Yes, it affects the birds. Wind turbines can damage the habitats of birds and marine life. Do you know that wind turbine can kill accidentally 1 million of birds and bats in a year? Actually, a scientist says that this thing is happening accidentally because the wind is pulling, or the turbine wind it's pulling the birds on it. So that means they are killing accidentally. This thing is a negative thing for the birds. But now let us continue about the other points. Wind turbine can be also expensive to construct. As we said before, that is the most expensive energy. Then the form of like the other sources, wind turbines is the most expensive of them. Now, let us like I want left you to how to calculate the speed or the direction, and how the speed and direction is calculated by itself by the wind, and to look at the graph how it is looking. Now let us start. Now it's the end, but actually you can see that it's the end. There's another things, there's another surprise.